Alright, so to kick it off, man, we would have the Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man, Becky Lynch, man. So Becky Lynch would come out, and she is freaking pissed off. She is honestly kind of going crazy. So she starts it off, says she was looking to come out here and spread good news about the corruption at the Royal Rumble, about the overturning of the corruption. But then from there, she says that, well, but somebody that pretty much I don't like has come back to my show. And then the crowd just starts chanting AJ Lee, because obviously before that we would actually see AJ Lee's superstar arrival that they usually do before shows. So then from there, AJ Lee would come out. Becky Lynch first asked her, obviously, why are you back? And then pretty much AJ Lee says, well, she's back because tonight her best friend Maxine has she has a big match tonight, obviously against Natalia later on, so we'll discuss that later, of course. But yeah, she says that, and then she says she's probably going to hang around in catering. She's pretty much just here to support her best friend, basically. But then Becky Lynch says that, no. I want you gone. What can I do to get you gone? What do you want? Why do you keep coming back? You're like a chihuahua that just doesn't shut up. You're always there. You are ruining my life. What do you want? Do you want to go one-on-one with the man? Do you want to go one-on-one with the greatest of all time, Becky Lynch? And then from there, AJ Lee would try to, she would pretty much just kind of, pretty much just say that Becky, oh, you want to go one-on-one with me? Oh, I'm so, flattered. I'm so flattered. And then pretty much, eventually we would obviously, it would be confirmed that we would end up seeing AJ Lee and Becky Lynch one-on-one, because Becky first AJ Lee or Becky would say, AJ would say that, I'll put that title on the line. Basically, she would say, put that title up for grabs, but then Becky would be like, no, and then AJ Lee is like, okay, then I'll just go back to Chicago, meaning she would still come around, because obviously, she means go back to Chicago, obviously for Elimination Chamber, but she would still be on Becky's show. And then Becky says, fine, I will put this title on the line. But pretty much, so it is going to be confirmed, we are going to get Becky versus AJ Lee at Elimination Chamber, and most likely I feel like we're also going to get it, we're most likely getting it there and probably at WrestleMania as well, which is, I think at WrestleMania is probably where AJ Lee would win the title, but we'll see at the end of the day. Also in this promo, Becky would even ask AJ Lee, like, you've ruined my life, and then AJ Lee's just kind of like, Becky, I have not ruined your life. Let's see, I have not ruined your life. Oh, but wait, I did beat you at WrestlePalooza, but that's about it. But wait, but then I beat you at War Games, but then that's 100%. Oh, wait, one more thing. Oh, then I did cost you your Intercontinental Championship, but wait, that is the last thing, because now at least you're still your champion. So and also throughout this entire promo, Becky was kind of seeming like a crazy person. Like, she was literally going insane, where it's like, there's somebody that she hates so much that it's literally driving her absolutely insane. But the main takeaways from this segment is obviously going to be, well, we are getting AJ Lee and we are getting Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship, like I said, at Elimination Chamber, which will most likely progress into them going one-on-one at WrestleMania. But then again, we'll have to wait and see as far as WrestleMania goes. But yeah, as far as how I feel about this segment, man, I think it's good because it sets up AJ Lee versus Becky. I can't wait to see that one-on-one. That's going to be really good. Also, it was still a solid promo. Just one thing that really threw me off was really just Becky acting like a crazy person. I feel like it kind of was like, okay, chill out some for me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but it would kind of seem like, okay, calm down. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but let me know what you guys think if you guys did see that segment. Let me know what you guys think, man, because watching it, it was, still solid because it sets up big things, and it was still a solid promo, but it's just as far as just what Becky's acting, it's just as far as that crazy person side that she was trying to put on here. I just kind of like it's like, okay, calm down some. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but let me know what you guys think down below. But either way, no matter what, I still think this was a very solid opener to open our show tonight. All right, man, and for our first match of the night would be very freaking good, man. So we would jump into a tag team world title match. The Usos walking in as our champions here, and they would defend against the Alpha Academy, so the team of Otis and Akira Tozawa, man. I think this match absolutely freaking amazing. I really enjoyed this match. I will say, nobody really thought the Alpha Academy was going to win this one. It's the Usos. There's just no way the Usos go down to the Alpha Academy, let's be honest. But the amount of offense and the offense that the Alpha Academy and both teams realistically, but really the Alpha Academy got in, is what made this match so much better. Because honestly, I think most of us probably thought that this match, it was going to be an okay match, but it wasn't going to be to what it actually was and the product that we actually got. You know, maybe just like a quick little match. You know, they get maybe a little bit offense, but then the Usos dominate the rest of the time. But that's kind of the exact opposite. The Alpha Academy got really good offense in this match. In fact, I think both teams got the same amount of offense, but if not, I think the Alpha Academy may have gotten a little bit more offense. But still, that's what you want to see, man. I feel like the Alpha Academy at the end of the day is who you really want to go over. Maybe not championship wise, but as far as, you know, actual performance in the match wise. And I would say they definitely got over in this one. This match, really good, man. Good stuff from Akira Tozawa. He would go on a little rampage, kind of. I mean, he would be, you know, going all off the ropes, man, like out of the ring, then back in, then out of the ring again. I mean, man, he went crazy for a few moments there. So that was really cool. Also just cool, you know, nice, you know, cool stuff from Otis as well. And just tagging with, you know, Akira, just, you know, great match that they put on with the Usos tonight. I think that it really, you know, came together and just made an overall really solid match, man. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, the Usos are going to pick up the win here. They would deliver a spear, and then later on they would deliver the 1D to Otis. 1, 2, 3 matches over. Usos do freaking win this one, man. But great match from the Usos and Akira Tozawa as well as Otis as well. I think this match was great. Really no complaints on my part, man. I think this match is exactly what it should have been. Obviously, Usos still retain, but at the end of the day, the you know, the Alpha Academy gets over as far as, you know, in-ring wise. I think that's definitely, you know, a good way to go about this match, and that's exactly what happened. So great match, but at the in the post-match, you would see Byron Saxton come out, and he would talk with the Usos a little bit, and pretty much he would ask them, you know, what is the Usos WrestleMania plans? Jimmy Uso would talk, and he would just say, you know, talking to Jay, you know, hey Us, I need you to get in the Elimination Chamber. I need you to qualify. I need you to go to the main event of WrestleMania. So what's next for the Usos, man? Maybe they're probably going to be holding these titles, man. Don't know how many really, you know, defenses are really going to get in the next month and a half, you know, all the way up until WrestleMania, because by the looks of it, it might be Jey Uso, you know, Jey Uso might be, you know, parting ways just for a little bit, just to go, you know, get in the Elimination Chamber, qualify, you know, you try to, you know, attempt to win that, and, you know, we'll see what happens, but that looks like what's next for the Usos, and especially Jey Uso, of course. So as far as defenses for the Usos tag titles right now, maybe they might not be defending for the next few weeks or so. We'll have to wait and see, though, but by the looks of it, that's kind of what I'm assuming. So let me know how you guys feel about that. I personally think, you know, at the end of the day, it's whatever, you know, because at the end of the day, I don't think really Jey Uso is actually going to win the Elimination Chamber. I mean, I just really don't see him winning that, period. You know, because obviously they are tag champs, you know, they kind of want to keep that boat rolling. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think, though. But as far as the match goes, like I said, I think this match was really awesome. All right, and then from there, we would see the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble winner come out, Liv Morgan, along with her man, Dominic Mysterio. So they would make their way down to the ring. And first things first, Dominic Mysterio, with Valentine's Day being just around the corner, he would give Liv Morgan some flowers and like a heart in a box. I'm assuming that's chocolate. So pretty cool, I guess, you know. And then Liv pretty much just says, ladies in the crowd, you guys should learn from Daddy Dom. You know, you could definitely, you know, you guys can, or your mans can definitely learn a thing or two, basically. So you guys should do as good as Dom, basically, type of thing. So you know, bit interesting there. Obviously, you know, just giving her giving all that because it's almost Valentine's Day, of course. But anyways, that happens, and then from there we would see Liv Morgan pretty much just talk more, obviously, about the Royal Rumble. She says that she knows that Jade and Stephanie are both afraid of her, and she says that whoever champion she chooses, they know that they are going to get their ass kicked, and they are going to lose to me at WrestleMania, whichever champion I choose. Then from there, there would be like a lengthy kind of pause there, and then as Dominic Mysterio was about to talk, the flames or the pyro of Stephanie Vaquer's entrance, that would hit, and that would scare Dominic. You could even see him like, oh, like, you know, that kind of like spooked me a little bit too. But then Stephanie Vaquer would make her way down to the ring, so she comes out and then tells Liv, she says, Liv, you talk too much. And then from there, she would start speaking Spanish. I really don't know what she said, so you know, if you guys know, I mean, I personally don't. And then Liv Morgan would pretty much tell Dom, you know, hey, Dom, what did she say? You know what she said? What did she say? Tell me. And then Dom says, you know, I don't think I should tell you what she said. And then Stephanie says that, you know, and then from there, Dominic would pretty much, you know, just say stuff back in Spanish. Again, I don't really know what he's saying either, so, you know, I can't really translate there. Then Liv would ask Dom, you know, hey, what did you say? What did you say? What did you say? What did you tell her? And then Stephanie says that he told me that he's a little bitch. So that was really freaking funny. So I think that really freaking funny. funny right there. I was not expecting that to come out of Stephanie's mouth, so I think that was really funny. Then from there, Liv says, Stephanie, I don't speak any Spanish, but I know damn well that you are an absolute, obliterate freaking liar. Then from there, Liv tells Stephanie, it seems like you want to be all up in my man. Maybe I should give you this T-shirt that I'm wearing, or the shirt here that I'm wearing that says "Hot Girls Love Dominic Mysterio." But quite frankly, you don't qualify for that. And then so obviously, pretty much just throwing it in Stephanie's face that Liv Morgan thinks that she's freaking chopped and she's ugly. So kind of crazy. I mean, I was not expecting that either. But as you can kind of tell by the things that these women are saying, this is the WrestleMania match. 100%. It's going to be Liv Morgan versus Stephanie for the title at WrestleMania. There's already been way more build for this than there has Liv and Jade, and Liv and Jade just doesn't make sense more as much as maybe Liv and Stephanie would, if you ask me. So it's not 100% confirmed just yet, but it's most likely going to be Liv and Stephanie at WrestleMania. So that'll be really good. I think that match could really do good stuff. But yeah, I mean that's really about it there. I mean then Stephanie would get on the apron, and then pretty much Liv Morgan would call her a puta, and then Stephanie gets freaking pissed off. We don't end up seeing a fight, but Stephanie says some more stuff, and then that's really it, man. So when Liv said that, I was like, oh shit, okay, so we're really getting into this. So as you can tell by what these women said, this is 100% going to be the match. It's just not yet made official by WWE, and it's not yet made official by any means, so, but it's most likely guaranteed to be Stephanie and Liv at WrestleMania. I would be really surprised if it's not, to be honest, but we will see. But it's most likely going to be what Liv does for her WrestleMania, who she chooses. It's most likely to be Stephanie. So I think this promo and segment, while it was sort of short, definitely by what these women said to each other, you could definitely start to feel some tension build up, if you ask me. Maybe that's just me, but I think you could definitely start to feel some hatred and tension start to build from this segment. So that's really awesome. Definitely want to see that. Can't wait to see more tension and hate being built between these women, on the road to WrestleMania. So we'll have to wait and see for more on that. But overall, I think this was solid, man. Definitely builds some tension and hatred, like I said, and definitely, a really, really cool freaking promo here, and back and forth, and just segment overall. I think this is a really solid one. All right, now we would make our way to a women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, which did take place between Rhea Ripley, Lyra Valkyria, and even Ivy Nile, man. This match, overall, very solid for the most part. Did actually enjoy this match. I would say Ivy Nile definitely the standout here as far as in ring goes. I think she dominated a bigger portion of this match than maybe the other women. I would say the other women did, like Lyra and Rhea, of course. At the end of the day, though, I think this match has a really obvious winner. I mean, dude, Rhea Ripley's in this match. There's no way Rhea Ripley does not make it to an Elimination Chamber. Rhea Ripley obviously did win this one, and honestly, it's really expected, man. I mean, Rhea really didn't have to do much for her to. She really didn't do too much, and she won this match, man. That's really kind of just what you would expect, man. There's just no way Rhea Ripley comes out of this match on the losing end. I just did not see that happening whatsoever. Which obviously, like I said, it didn't. In the end, Lyra Valkyria would hit the Nightwing on Ivy Nile, try to get the 1, 2, 3. She would get to about 2, and then Rhea Ripley come back in the ring, deliver a running knee strike to Lyra Valkyria. That would break up the pin, and then finally Rhea Ripley delivers a Riptide to Lyra Valkyria. 1, 2, 3 matches over. So that part a bit underwhelming as far as the ending goes. I kind of felt like oh my god, just a knee to the face, and then all of a sudden Rhea Ripley is now won. It kind of felt like the match had a little bit more. I think is what I kind of think. I feel like the match maybe should have had a little bit more other than just a quick knee to the face Riptide, because that's really a slap in the face in my opinion as far as that goes. But from an in-ring still, it was still pretty solid. It was cool to see Ivy Nile have be more of a standout in this match. That's definitely something that Ivy Nile kind of, really needs. So that's kind of cool in my opinion. But enough talk, man. Not much else to talk about here. I mean, Rhea Ripley advances. She's now in the Elimination Chamber along with Tiffany Stratton. We still have 4 more women, I believe, because it's 6, right? Yeah. So we still have 4 more women. We need to figure out who is going to qualify for those in the next upcoming weeks before Elimination Chamber, of course. But yeah, enough talk, man. That's really all you got to know here. Holy hell, ladies and gentlemen. Now we would jump into a banger freaking segment, man. So we jump in. Michael Cole is in the ring, and we are set to have a little, kind of like a interview between Michael Cole and CM Punk. So Michael Cole talks a little bit, but guess who comes out? It is Finn freaking Balor. Finn Balor comes out, takes the mic out of Michael Cole's hand, I believe is what he did, and then he gets on the mic and he says that don't think I forgot about what happened 2 weeks ago when I lost to CM Punk, but also I laid CM Punk out 2 weeks ago and left him laying like a wounded animal. So pretty much just bringing back up what happened 2 weeks ago, because obviously Finn Balor's still pissed. He feels that he deserves another shot, and then that's exactly what he says. Finn says that I deserve another shot. I deserve to face CM Punk. I want my shot at Elimination Chamber. And then from there we would see we would then see freaking Adam Pearce come out with security. He would come out and he would pretty much say, Finn, you better get out of this ring. We've already talked about this. You're not getting your shot. We are too close to WrestleMania. You and CM Punk, that program, it is too late. It can't happen anymore. At this point in time. So then he tells Finn, if you don't get out of the ring, I will have my men escort you out. Obviously security. Then from there, right after is when CM Punk's music hits. He comes out and he is marching down there like an animal, man. CM Punk making his way down. You could tell he is pissed off. He gets in the ring. He encounters Adam Pearce, tells him, I'm getting in that ring. We are doing this right here, right now, basically. And then finally, CM Punk would get in the ring, which Balor would then leave the ring and he would get on top of the announcer's table. Pretty much Adam Pearce saying that no, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. That we are way too close to WrestleMania. Punk, we do not need you putting this title in jeopardy. Finn, get out of here. We are not doing this, basically. And then finally it would happen, man. It would freaking be made official, where Adam Pearce says, Punk, do not make me regret this. Do not make me freaking regret this. It is going to be official. Elimination Chamber. Punk versus Balor, World Heavyweight Championship. So at Elimination Chamber, man, it is going to be CM Punk. It is going to be Finn Balor. It is going to be for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is going to be a banger freaking match in Elimination Chamber at Elimination Chamber in Chicago, which I believe is just now a little over 2 weeks away. I believe is what it is. That is going to be a great match. So glad that we are running back Finn and CM Punk, and it's just so glad that Finn Balor is continuing to get more shots, man. This is only continuing to elevate Finn Balor's singles push, and also just continuing to elevate the pretty much inevitable split of the Judgment Day, which I have already talked about on the channel in a video that I believe is roughly a week old now. But yeah, man, really, really good stuff there. So then from there, Balor would leave, and then Punk does get back in the ring, and then Michael Cole asks CM Punk one question. He says, Punk, what are you doing? And then he says, why are you trying to jeopardize, or why are you jeopardizing one of the greatest one of the greatest WrestleMania headlines ever between you and Roman Reigns? CM Punk pretty much tells Cole that I'm not jeopardizing anything. I am being the fighting champion that I told these people here on Monday Night Raw in the WWE Universe. I'm telling them exactly what I would do, and that is be a fighting champion. I'm not jeopardizing anything, Michael Cole. I am putting my title on the line because I am a fighting champion. And he says, as far as WrestleMania, as far as Roman Reigns, I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to reign. I'm still going to come out on top at WrestleMania. I'm still going to kick Roman Reigns' ass. I will be at WrestleMania, and I will stand tall still as your world heavyweight champion. And that is pretty much it, man. So what does this all tell us? What are the main points here? Well, the biggest point is that we are getting Finn Balor versus CM Punk at Elimination Chamber in Chicago. That is going to be an epic match. Cannot wait for that. As far as who's going to win that match, obviously I think it is still going to be CM Punk. There's just no way that CM Punk does not win. If there's just no way they throw away Punk versus Roman for the World Heavyweight title in the main event of WrestleMania. That's obviously not going to happen, but still so amazing that we're getting that match. It's only going to continue to, like I said, push Finn Balor's singles push, as well as continue to influence the potential split, or the inevitable split of the Judgment Day. So that's very awesome. And then everything that Punk said, that's also awesome as well. Pretty much Punk's just standing on business, saying he's not jeopardizing anything. He's a fighting champion, and that he will still remain champion at WrestleMania and after WrestleMania. So overall, I think this segment was awesome. Great promo, great segment. Really enjoyed this. It sets up big things. it continues to elevate other things. And yeah, man, really freaking great segment here. Really enjoyed this. All right, now we make our way to Natty versus Maxine Dupree. What was a very interesting match, but honestly a match that possibly sets up big things, and we're going to talk about those. Pretty much kind of just things that I feel like are, you know, very possible at WrestleMania. So we're going to talk about those later on in a few moments here. But first, let's get into the match, man. So the match instantly, I mean, you know, Maxine pretty much gets the upper hand, and then eventually, you know, we're relatively quickly into the match, does throw Natalya to the outside of the ring. She will fall, and then she does follow her, and then eventually Natty would get the upper hand. She would toss Maxine over the announcer's table, and they would pretty much just stay in the announcer's table area, as, you know, eventually Natty would get Maxine on the announcer's table, and she would put Maxine in the in her little submission move, whatever her submission move was called these days. I kind of forgot, not gonna lie. Or no, the sharpshooter. Yeah, she would put her in the sharpshooter. The ref would get to a count of 10. The match would be called for a obviously it would be a disqualification, because, you know, obviously the ref did get to a count of 10. Both women were on the outside. The match does end in a disqualification. So then Natalya would keep that hold locked in until finally AJ Lee's music would hit. AJ Lee would come out, and Natalya would get her ass out of there, or Natty, I should say, she would get her ass out of there. Then from there, Natty or AJ Lee would help out Maxine. She would get her up. They would the ref and her and AJ Lee would start walking Maxine back to the lock, you know, towards the locker room area and the entrance ramp, of course. But then we would then see Becky Lynch even come out. She would attack AJ Lee. She would drive her right into the post, and then she would, you know, take out AJ Lee. And then that was pretty much it right there. But what I think this does here, of obviously Becky coming out and attacking AJ Lee, well, number one, I think it sets up a tag team match between AJ Lee and Maxine Dupree on one side versus Natty and Becky Lynch on one side, or on the other side. It probably going to be I could see this next episode of Raw. Honestly, I could see either this next episode of Raw, maybe Elimination Chamber, but I feel like most likely this next episode of Raw, that's probably going to be a possibility. And then what's going to come of all that? Well, I think what's going to come of all that is at some point at WrestleMania, it's going to be Natalya versus or Natty, I should say, versus Maxine versus AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the women's Intercontinental title. So let me know what you guys think about that, but I think that is a very big possibility as far as, you know, what's next for the women's Intercontinental title, man, because I feel like there's definitely going to be that tag match for sure, but what I feel like that's going to turn into, like I said, is going to be a major fatal four-way for the women's Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. So let me know what you guys think about that. Like, do you guys agree with me? Do you guys think that's an actual possibility? Let me know. But I think for me personally, I would argue that is possible. So we'll have to wait and see over the next few weeks, but I think that's definitely what this match did set up. So like I said, we'll have to wait and see, but let me know what you guys do think about that down in the comments below. All right, now we would see OG Americano and Javon Evans take on, I believe it was Rayo Americano, and I forgot what the other one's name is, but it's not the other El Grande. It's like it's the Rayo and then the other Americano, whatever his name is. I kind of forgot now. But overall, I think this match was really awesome, and it had a really freaking star man, this just a superstar ending, man. The ending of this match was freaking insane, so we're gonna talk about that. But man, great match as a whole, man. I think the match was very awesome, lots of high flying action, especially in the end, like I said, man. But great freaking stuff overall. I think the chemistry between these teams was awesome. But like I said, let's get to that ending, man. The ending we would see I forgot, I think it was Rayo Americano. He would be on one of the top turnbuckles, and Javon would be on the other side, and then freaking Rayo leaps off, and then Javon leaps off, and Javon would get freaking bouncy. He would make his way, he would jump all the way to the middle of the ring, and he would literally catch Rayo mid-air and drop him with the OG cutter. Man, I hit my hand on my desk. But yeah, man, dude, freaking insane. I highly recommend you guys go back and watch that if you have not already. That move, oh my god, it was insane. And Javon even just continues to get even more bouncy, because then he leaps over to the outside to take out the other Americano, which allows OG Americano to do a diving headbutt from the top onto I believe, like I said, it was Rayo, or whoever the one Javon delivered that nasty cutter to. And then then 1, 2, 3, OG Americano and Javon Evans do pick up the win here, and then the post-match we would see El Grande Americano attack both OG Americano and Javon Evans, so that was a bit interesting, and then El Grande would try to freaking pull off the mask of OG Americano, but then OG would try to pull off the mask of El Grande, but then finally El Grande gets helped out by obviously Ryo and all of them, and he would get pulled out, and then that would be it, man. But great match here, even greater ending, man. I think this match is awesome, especially that ending. That was definitely, that's going to be a top moment of 2026, honestly. That was an absolute amazing freaking OG cutter from Javon Evans. That was absolutely stunning. This is why Javon Evans is in the WWE, man. He just does crazy stuff. I can't wait to see even more, but this was absolutely insane from Javon Evans, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finally would make it to our main event of the night, which was a men's Elimination Chamber qualifying triple threat match for our competitors in this match. It would be LA Knight, Austin Theory, and Penta, man. So let's cut straight to the chase, man. You got Austin Theory in this match. You already know the Vision is going to play a role in this match. So we're gonna cut straight to the chase. We get towards a little way towards the end, and obviously the Vision does come out. Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, so they come out, and obviously Paul Heyman as well, but he's already, of course, out there by Austin Theory's side. So they come out there, and Bronson Reed would hit LA Knight with a tsunami. Adam Pearce would then come out, and he would get Bronson Reed out of there. He would pull him out of the ring, and then from there we would see Austin Theory. He would do his move, and then he would cover obviously LA Knight, go for 1, 2, then would get pulled out of the ring by Penta, and then Penta would eventually get taken out once again by Austin Theory. I believe he would get tossed over the announcer's table by Austin Theory, and then we would then see Austin Theory. He would be on the ground, and then from there we would see the Masked Man that we did see at the Royal Rumble, who did take out Braun Breaker and cost him. So the Masked Man would come out. He would deliver a curb stomp to Austin Theory, man. I guarantee you guys that this Masked Man is 100% Seth Rollins. You could just tell by the beard and obviously the stomps, man. I mean, come on, it's definitely Seth Rollins. We just have to wait for it to obviously all completely be revealed, of course. But the Masked Man comes out, delivers a stomp to Austin Theory, throws him back in the ring. Then Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker chase after him, and that's the last we see of all them. And then we get back in the ring. LA Knight delivers the BFT to Austin Theory. 1, 2, 3. LA Knight is moving on to the Elimination Chamber, man, alongside with Randy Orton and 4 other stars. We just don't know who the 4 other ones are yet to be, but we will find out in the later weeks, man. But this match, I think, was really solid, man. Really did enjoy this one. I'm super glad that LA Knight is advancing to the Elimination Chamber, so it'd be interesting to see LA Knight, if LA Knight could really win this Elimination Chamber, but I think that would honestly be cool if he honestly could, but, we'll see. Definitely cool that he's at least going to be in it, though, so that is really awesome. Cool that we're also seeing the Masked Man again. That is really awesome, just continuing to play that out, of course, but overall, I think this was a solid main event, man. Let me know what you guys think about this main event down below, but for the most part, man, I think this was a very solid main event tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up today's Ringside Roundup. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy, and be sure to leave me your thoughts on how you guys did feel about this episode of Raw. I honestly, personally do think that this was, for the most part, a pretty good episode of Raw, man. Raw, it has been pretty freaking consistent the past few weeks. Tonight was no different, I think this week's episode of Raw was pretty good, but like I said, leave me your thoughts down in the comments below, whether that's leaving your thoughts, debating my thoughts, leaving your thoughts in the show, or talking about anything you want to talk about the world of professional wrestling. All that can be done down in the comments below. Like I said, man, be sure to leave a comment before you do click off the video. It does help out the channel a ton. And as always, if you want to see more wrestling content like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Go follow those socials. Like I said, you can find the links to those in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. So that hosts me a ton, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.